Welcome to the Business Spotlight. Today we're joined by Haydn Griffiths, a very passionate mindset coach who helps people break through limitations and step into their true potential. Haydn, very grateful you're here today, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about your business journey and what you've learned along the way. You've helped so many people gain confidence, clarity, kind of freedom from their lives, their minds, and I cannot wait to hear a bit more about some of those insights that you'll share today. So I'm going to dive right in. Tell us a little bit more about what you do, for how long you've been doing it, and kind of how the journey's been up to this date.
Okay, I will do. Thank you for having me. Lovely to be here. Hello, everyone. I work with powerful people. I work with powerful people, like you said, to remove whatever's getting in the way. And it's 99% of the time something going on in their mindset, which will be thoughts, opinions, views, decisions they've made in the past, experience they've had, and just uncovering them and undoing them so they're free to be who they truly are. Conceptually, that's what I do in the process of the conversation of coaching. It's not that clear. It's a little messier when we're dealing with the emotions and the deeper stuff people have going on, but that's what it is conceptually. I've been doing it professionally for 5 years, started when I was 30. And what was the third part of the question?
Yeah, what's the journey been like?
Oh, the absolute hell. I'm an advocate for the idea that the gates of heaven lie in the depths of hell, and I have definitely been down there and through the heat and forged myself into the man I am today. So it's been one hell of a journey, stressful and paralyzing and heavy and traumatic and you name it. I've been through it all to get to this point. And totally worth it, and that's what gives me the qualification to guide others through it, through the hell that starting a business is. So
Yeah, excellent. Biggest learning since you've been in business and being a business owner?
my biggest learning is the biggest success lies in who we're being, not so much what we're doing. So the do of growing a business is make sales, market yourself, work with your customers, organize your finances. The do is same across every business for every person. Who you're being while you do those things is going to make the difference. So if you're scared, if you're doubtful, if you're uncertain, if you're stressed, if you're feeling pressure, if nothing's ever good enough, if you're never worthy, then it won't matter what you do. You're going to have a horrible time, and the results probably won't be great. Whereas if you're being confident and powerful and decisive and happy and free and engaged and excited, again, it won't matter what you do. You're going to have a great time, and the results will probably be great. So I stand by. There's a bigger impact in who we're being than what we're doing in life, and that's where I get to work with people. Is who are you, and how did you become this way, and who do you need to become that will be successful? That'll be my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, really insightful. Thanks for sharing that, Hayden. So I'm gonna explore a little bit around that. So, what are the most common mindset blocks you see holding business owners back?
The most common mindset blocks. That's a great question, and I see business owners go through stages of mindset. So we come from an employee mindset, which is someone's telling me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. They're offering me the training and education. Essentially, they're making the decisions for me, and I just got to turn up and follow the recipe. When we go from that mindset where most of the thinking has been done for us into the self-employed mindset, it's a flip. It's a complete flip. It's I'm now making decisions. What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with my days, with my activities, with myself? How do I have these conversations? There's so much to think about. People get trapped. So they get trapped in, is this the right thing or is this the wrong thing? And that doesn't work in business. They get trapped in what activities are best? What should I be doing now? What should I be doing later? What shouldn't I be doing? And they get stuck in that thinking. I also see people in the early stages of their business get trapped in, I have too much to do. I'm overwhelmed. I don't have enough time. They get stuck in these ways of thinking, and they very much limit their growth and increase the stress load at the start of growing a business. Once they get through that self-employed, they start becoming a business person. The thinking changes from, I don't have enough time, to I have an abundance of time. And they start to think also, how do I utilize other people's time? As well as, when they start in a business, it's, this is my money. And they evolve into, this is the business's money. They remove that attachment. What else? They stop thinking, what do I need to do? And they start thinking, what does the business need to get done? So there's some of the common mindsets I see people in the early stages of their business. And there's a whole lot more, at the source of the stress and the pressure, like the anxieties, the not enough time. There's a whole lot more going on. And we're not taught this in school. So it really is an uncomfortable transformation to take place to become a successful business owner. It really is. And when you work with a coach, you can break through all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot agree with you more. Um, so, how do you personally stay motivated and focused even during tough times? So, what works well for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say I'm not too fussed on motivation anymore. It's I see it as a bit of a buzzword. Sorry, getting another phone call. I'm a popular man. It's a bit of a buzzword. I think that, forget motivation and look for integrity. So integrity is, you keep your word with yourself. It doesn't matter how you feel. You're doing this because you said you would do it. When you start to keep your word to yourself as a practice, a daily habit, you will build an unbelievable sense of power and confidence. And then it's not even motivation you develop. You just develop this unshakable belief that you can have whatever you want. You simply set your mind to it and do the work. Then motivation doesn't exist anymore. It really occurs to me as a buzzword. Focus on your integrity and keeping your word. Do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it, and you will become powerful, confident, excited for your future.
I absolutely love that. That's such a good mindset there. Um, what strategies do you use to bounce back from a setback?
That's a good question. What strategies do I use to bounce back from a setback? I I set time aside to be with myself. So I allow myself to sit and be with my thoughts and my perspective, and recollect myself. And then I get in communication with my the people I have around me who offer valuable perspective back on what's going on. So a recent setback, my wife and I were living in Canada and we were planning to move cities. And I also won a community leadership award by the local newspaper. And so it was a Thursday in the morning. I won this award. We went to the celebration, photos were taken, all the fancy stuff. In the evening, we went out wake surfing with the friends we were moving city with, who were living in the new city. We went wake surfing, and then I happened to have a few too many drinks and fall off a cliff and almost kill myself. So I'm in hospital that night, and about 5 days later, after surgery, they put me back together. I get a letter from immigration in Canada saying you need to leave the country immediately. So here I am on the mattress with my arm up and my leg up. My wife is, taking care of me, and she's having to completely unpack our home so we can leave the country within 30 days. We had to sell our cars, we had to leave our jobs, we had to end the job she was moving up to the new city with. It was a total shock. And the way we dealt with that is to just allow ourselves to experience the emotions that came up and pay attention to them, acknowledge them, and then constant communication with each other every single day. And yeah, allowing ourselves to be with whatever was coming up for us, all of the stress, the worry, the panic, just allowing it to be there, constantly communicating with each other and myself, taking that time with myself to reflect and look at what's going on for me. And then in the amongst of all that, start thinking about the next step. Okay, we've got a blank slate. There's a wide open future for us now. I get our plan isn't what we wanted it to be, but that's okay. That's done. Throw that away. What's next? What are we going to do now? Yeah, I'd say that's how we deal with it. Allowing whatever comes up to come up. Don't fight it. Don't resist it. Don't make it wrong. Then expressing it with the people around you who you're close to. Now, if you don't have those, that's a different story. That's something to work on. But at least start paying attention to yourself and then putting that plan aside. You're going to be upset. You're going to be angry. You're going to be annoyed. You're going to go through all of that. Keep just allowing it to be, put it to the side, and then come back to, okay, what's next? And keep staying in that space of what's next until the answers arrive. They're not instant. They can take months. They can take years sometimes, depending on how big you're looking forward into the future for an answer. Yeah, that would be the strategy I use. I hope that made sense. That was a lot of information.
No, and thank you for sharing that very personal part of your life. And yeah, I agree. It's through these challenges that we go through that we are able to help others. So thanks so much for going through that and helping those that come after, right? Next question. What daily habits or routines help cultivate a strong and resilient mind?
That's a good. What daily habits help cultivate a strong and resilient mind? I don't know if that I only have one daily habit. I have one, and that's it. And I do it every day, no matter what, every day of the year, wherever I am in the world. And that's a cold shower. Every day, at the end of every shower, I turn off the hot completely and I go to full cold. And I do deep breathing exercises through my nose. And I'm in there for 3 to 6 minutes, regardless of the temperature. And every morning, before I switch on that cold water, every morning I'm going through, oh, this again. I really have to do this. Just give yourself a day off, Hayden. You're a little bit sick today. Don't you give yourself a break. Every morning I don't want to do it, and every morning I do it. And it's amazing also how quick the day seems to go by once I reach my morning shower, knowing that cold shower is coming, and it shocks my entire system, wakes me up for the day. That for me is the first thing I do in the day, and it's facing that part of myself that doesn't want to do the work, that knows that the result lies on the other side of the pain and on the other side of, I really don't want to do this. That has been a wonderful practice for me, for developing a resilient mind, and bringing that, that reactive default inner child that goes, I don't want to do it. I can't be bothered. It's all too hard. It's too much. I don't like it. That little whiny voice, and being bigger than that. And I brought that, this last year, I overcame dealing with my own finances and being responsible for them instead of just living spontaneously. And it was the same voice. Oh, I don't want to. It's too hard. It's too much work. And it was the practice that I developed in the cold shower that I applied directly to that. It's the same little whingy child that lives in me that doesn't want to be responsible, that I overcome every morning. That doesn't want to experience the shock of that cold water. So that is my only daily habit, I would say. That is my only daily habit. Everything else I do, you could call it by intuition or by feeling, or it's, yeah, I don't have any other daily habits, I'd say. Maybe planning my day, but that feels organic now. It doesn't feel forced. Yeah, it just happens. So that's probably
Such,
it. Yeah.
such a great takeaway there for anyone listening. So tomorrow everyone's going to take
I doubt
culture. Doubt it. I'm like
it.
thinking,
Good luck.
I wonder if I would go there. But
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, no, great advice. What's one small
Yeah.
mindset shift that can make a big impact on someone's business or even their life?
Oh, yeah. Easy. Okay. And not comfortable, but very, very easy. Um, whenever you face a challenge, a problem, you're annoyed, you're upset, you've just had an argument, the number one thing you can do, I would say, this is not comfortable or easy, but it is so simple that if you practice it will make a huge difference to your life, is just ask the question, what am I not being responsible for? And when you start to see what you're not being responsible for and you take responsibility, it will turn your life around. That responsibility is the source of freedom and power. I can guarantee you that. Don't take my word for it. Go and discover it yourself. Responsibility and being responsible for whatever's in your life is the source of freedom and power. Absolutely guarantee it. And we don't, that doesn't occur to us naturally. The normal perspective is, well, I want to give up responsibility. That's how I get a sense of freedom. It's the opposite, I promise you. It's absolutely the opposite. When you give up responsibility, you give up power. When you say, oh, that's not my job, well, then someone else gets the job. Then they have the power to impact it. Then they get the sense of fulfillment. Then they get the admiration of other people. Then other people want to hear their perspective, want them to be a part of their lives and contribute to whatever they're up to. Truly being responsible and asking yourself in any area of your life where you're not satisfied, what you're not being responsible for will not easy, not comfortable, I promise you that, but will make a huge difference. Yeah, very simple question.
Yeah, one simple question that can change anything. Yeah. Such a really fresh perspective there. Thanks so much, Hayden. Rapid fire. Here we go. What's the key to success for you?
Key to success, three things: study, guidance, practice. That's it.
Excellent. One piece of advice that you would give to another business owner?
Resolve the relationships with your parents to become your full potential as a leader.
Brilliant. A piece of advice to someone starting out or thinking of starting out in business?
Don't do it. No, that's a joke. Give yourself 5 years. Give yourself 5 years and don't. People go into business with this idea, I'm going to do it all. I need to do it all on my own. Employers are dickheads. That was me. You got to throw that out. You cannot grow a business on your own. So look for support, look for guidance, look for other people going through it, and give yourself 5 years to become a business person. It's what it's going to take. The person you go into business as is not the person who will grow a successful business. You got to become the business person, and it takes about 5 years.
Oh, excellent. If you could magically improve one area of your business today, what would it be?
That's a great question. Magically improve. I would have, well, I'd have all my goals for this year completed already, I suppose. That would be, I've designed my ideal day with structured where I'm doing each specific task, where I'm coaching, where I'm developing my marketing, and I'd have developed consistent, powerful marketing. I'd say that would, if I could wave a magic wand, that's mine. That's the next thing I want to implement in my business.
Brilliant. Anything you'd like to let our viewers and listeners know about? Maybe something coming up, or any offers, or anything happening in the business at the moment?
Yeah, there's the quarterly Complete and Create session coming up on the 7th of February, where we look at letting go of the past to create space for a new future, and where I'll be breaking down goals into the deepest of understanding from a mindset perspective, so people can walk away and create exceptionally powerful goals and actually achieve them. So that's coming up on the 7th of February. I'd also like to say, if anyone is listening and considering a leader to be your coach, do it. She's been coaching me for I don't even know how long, and I'm experiencing phenomenal success. I highly, highly recommend you get in contact with her if you've been thinking about it.
Ah, excellent. Hayden, thanks so much for that. So yeah, 7th of Feb. Yeah, definitely not event to miss there. And we'll highlight that for you. So again, just lots of gratefulness. Thank you so much for coming on, Hayden.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Alita.